Hi, I'm Elizabeth Durazio, joining you today from Headrest at 14 Church Street in Lebanon. And this place offers outpatient services, a 24/7 hotline, and residential services to people on the road to recovery or in recovery. And they're here for a wide range of needs, and they need your help. We've been spending the last couple of weeks highlighting what they do, and today we're speaking to Sara Poisson, and she's going to tell us about their outpatient services. It's an amazing range of things available to you, to your family and friends and loved ones, or maybe a coworker. So let's hear from Sara, and she can tell us some of the things that she does to help Headrest out. Thank you for joining us.
Sure, thanks for having me.
And there's a really a wide scope of different services you offer for outpatients. Tell us a little bit about what you offer.
Sure. Our philosophy is that addiction is a very complicated, multifaceted disease. And so in order to have the best hope of reduction in recidivism and to have people stay sober longer, then we need to treat the whole person, not just the addiction. And so what we do is we offer individual outpatient services. We offer intensive outpatient services, which meets 9 hours a week. And we look at the gamut of, I always tell people it's not the what, it's the why. The what is heroin, marijuana, alcohol. It's not the what specifically, it's the why. What brought you to that place? So those are the issues that we want to look at. We want to help support you around those issues so that you can make better choices in the future. So in line with that specific philosophy, we're looking at gender-specific issues, particularly trauma-informed treatments, very important. It's important for men, but it's even more important for women. Lots of these folks have domestic violence histories, sexual abuse histories, trauma histories, growing up in families where is it normal to be abused?
Right.
Questioning those values as they enter early sobriety becomes very important in terms of their choices for future relationships. Conversely, with men, typically in this culture, we teach men that in order to be strong, you have to be violent. Right. Overpowering. We don't teach men how to communicate. We don't teach that. We don't even allow them to have feelings, let alone express them. Mm-hmm. So in early recovery, that's a very important piece for men. If you ask a guy in early recovery how he feels, he'll probably say something like itchy or hungry, because he just doesn't have that wide range. So what do you do with those? Because now that you're not using, you use to medicate feelings 100% of the time. That's why. Right. So now that you're having those feelings, what are you going to do with them? And that's our focus of our treatment.
And one thing I think that's interesting, as you mentioned, it's not just the what, it's the why.
Right.
Much of our culture, and even those of us, on the outside perhaps, are looking at this saying, well, I know this person uses this drug or this drug or this drug. It's almost like we identify the person with the substance as opposed to what led the person to that point.
Right.
Drugs don't just happen. Addiction doesn't just happen.
That's
There's
right.
a why that leads someone there.
That's right.
And I always say to people, if you've ever tried to you try to stop smoking, that's like a modicum of what someone going through a major addiction is going through.
Right, and even smoking, I mean, that's an addiction. So why are you doing that? If you look back at why you did that, was it because for peer interaction? Was it for, when I smoked, it was a reward system. Finish the laundry, have a cigarette. Finish this, have a cigarette. So if you're not going to smoke anymore, and I don't, and haven't for years, so if you're not going to do that anymore, what are you going to do to reward yourself? Because we know that the addictive behaviors work. They work really well,
right.
Or people wouldn't continue to do them, those particular behaviors. So if you're not going to do that, what are you going to do instead? And that's what a relapse prevention plan is about. It's not simply about, yes, it's about stopping that behavior, but it's what are you going to replace it with? Because that's going to be your default setting.
And, we were really focusing on being a whole human being.
Right.
And, just taking away the addictive substance, or you could go cold turkey, or these kind of like tough love type things really don't make sense, because that hole or that aching or that previous abuse or whatever that reason is still there.
That's right.
And if you really love your friend or loved one, you want them to be able to reach a new level, not just put the substance down. You want them to be a healthy, functioning, normal human being.
That's right. All behavior is purposeful. Addictive behavior is purposeful. It fills a need. Our task is to help a client identify what that need is and meet it in a way that is not only socially sanctioned, but actually fulfilling.
I want to thank you, Sara, for joining us and giving us a little insight into the outpatient services here offered at Headrest. The hotline is at the bottom of the screen, and so is the website. Remember, if you have a friend or family or a coworker that needs them, or if you do, you need to call.